Welcome back to personal productivity using technology, and we will be finishing our first app using App Inventor today. We have almost finished. We have a Magic 8 ball that is making a sound when we tap it, when the Magic 8 button is clicked. And the only thing we need to do is the most difficult part, which is our random box that has many answers for our Magic 8, and pick randomly an answer and display it at the answer label. So the easy thing, we're going to go back to our blocks, answer label, and drag the set answer label text and fit it to our when magic button click block. And at this point I need to make a box of answers, so I'll probably have to use my built-in, and that seems a lot like a list, right? It's a list of answers. That could be a list, but I could also look around for other things. So at this point, I need something to pick a random item from my list. Okay, so I will have to make a list first, and I think that could help. But I also need to pick a random item. So where could that be? Pick a random item. It's in my list blocks. So I've got all the ingredients I need. Pick a random item from a list, make a list. So now let's just start putting this together. So first I'll have to pick a random item from a list. And I'm gonna have to make that list now. And what will this list have? Text. It will have text. And as you can see, when I add some text, the list is dynamic. It adds more items, which is perfect because that's exactly what I want. I want to have multiple items. And then I'm going to go to my Wikipedia Magic 8 and I'm going to find some answers. So it is certain I'm going to copy this and paste it on my text. It is certain. That's one of my answers. And then more answers. And let's put 4 or 5 texts here and pick some answers from Wikipedia. So going back to the browser. Okay, reply hazy, try again. Let's add that. Simple clicking on the text and Control V can replace our text, or you can always type the text if you're not too lazy as I am. Control V, one more answer, or actually 2, it is decidedly so. Control C. So after this, I will review what I just did, because it's pretty cool actually. You've learned something amazing today. Okay, here's what you've learned. You've learned that to set the text to a random item, you have to call the routine, pick a random item, and then this routine takes as an input a list, and you have to make that list, so you'll have to call the routine make a list, and then the input of the make a list is the list items, which in our case are text. It could even be numbers if you were doing a lottery, random item picking, and so on and so forth. So you learned some super cool and important things. You've learned about inputs. The list is an input to the pick a random item. The text is an input to the make a list. You've learned about a way of organizing data on your app. and that's a list. And as humans do this all the time, we organize our data in lists. And you also learned about one of the most important features of today's programming, which is events. When an event happens, you have to do some things. When the user clicks the button, you gotta make a sound and pick an answer and display this answer to the answer label text. So this is really, really important. Okay, it might remind you a little bit of Excel. I know you don't want me to mention this right now, but it might remind you a little bit of the if something happens, then do that. Well, that's exactly what is going on here, but it's more sophisticated. It's not just a simple condition, it's an event. When it happens, do that, not just if. So now going back to my Magic 8, as you can see, if you leave your emulator open, your device, your virtual phone is connected to your program, so your new logic is already here and you can see the answers. So this is really cool. You have your first app, your first Magic 8 app, and I hope you will enjoy it. And next you will create a Paint Pictures app, which is another super cool app, and you'll do this in class with the tutorials from the App Inventor website. So until that time, see you next time.